Studio, I am joined by a political analyst, Baleni. A very good morning to you and thank you for joining us, Mr. Baleni. And now let's just start off with looking at the security measures that have been put up since yesterday, which have caused a bit of doubt and intimidation for the organizers out there, because they had said they will be starting with the march at 8 o'clock and they were expecting numbers. But now we have heard that they said that, no, it's not about a quantity, it's the quality. What do you make of this heavy security? What could be a risk to the public?
Thanks to Lisa, and good morning to the viewers back home. I think for me, where the problem started is the idea around going to occupy Luthuli house on its own is problematic, because it means you're getting into someone's space. And I don't think they would have been allowed to do that, actually. So that security is a measure to say, probably we know the type of protest that we've seen in the recent past. There's bound to be damage to property and all those things. So, I mean, the security is meant to to be tight, so that the building itself, so that the resources and assets of the ANC, because that is an office, are not actually at risk of damage. So I think that is the reason. But if they had not said they are going to occupy, probably we'll be seeing a different image of the security measure. But the issue that they said they want to go and occupy the Luthuli house, on its own, it's not clear what they were going to do, because if you occupy, it means you are removing whoever is there and replacing them by yourself. And what that would have meant, we're not very sure. So obviously they are bad to say they should do whatever they want to do, but without risking the safety of the place. Yes.
And now, talking about invading a space, do you think that this protest will make any kind of impact to the ANC within their leadership structure?
I think it's a little bit it's not a very tight kind of, for me, kind of a protest. But if they had said, of which I think they are now developing into that kind of a sense, that they want to go and submit a memorandum, probably one can engage with a memorandum to say, what are these people saying? But if they had said they just want to go and occupy, we don't know what that would have meant. But probably if they are going to submit a memorandum, they might demand a response within that memorandum to say, what is going to happen now that we have submitted our issues, what's going to follow, and how is it going to be unpacked? Probably they have demanded certain conditions. But if the memorandum is not very clear, they are only saying they want President Zuma to step down, it might not really be much of an impact, because we are clear that within the ANC structures, they've said they are protecting their president. They want to move on and kind of concentrate on building and rebuilding, and probably a more sound succession than the one that demands. And I think this is what I've said before, that I think they learned a lot from their previous recall of President Thabo Mbeki. They wouldn't want, if they're going to have President Zuma being recalled after President Thabo did not even finish his term, that would even tell us that there are worse issues within the ANC. So they would want a situation where probably they sit down, they get their system, their things in order, without actually recalling President Zuma. Because if they were to do that, it was going to be worse to the public.
So you're saying that this recalling of the president, some of these demands that they are calling upon, it's not feasible?
I don't think it will be physical in terms of the ANC actually recalling or requesting that the president steps down. I don't think they will do that, because what they want to do now is they've seen a test of what it means in terms of the previous municipal elections. And they would want to solidify and regroup and actually see to it that they are solid going forward. But if they were to recall President Zuma now, it means they are opening another challenge of saying who at that particular point is going to step in. And is that going to be the best person going forward, because the presidential elections are just upon us almost. So they wouldn't want that. So what they want to do is now build, solidify and everything, other than recalling. So it means that would even put pressure within the ANC. And I think they were upfront. They after the constitutional ruling, I think they accepted President Zuma's apology. meaning to say they are ready to work with him, building the ANC going forward. So there wouldn't be, in my view, a recall now. I think they've resisted that. We saw President Zuma very active within the previous campaign, meaning to say he was the face of the ANC. So any idea or suggestion that he can be recalled now, I don't think it will be easy to happen.
And now, do you believe that this hashtag Occupy Luthuli House exposes the fault lines within the ANC?
It does, because I think we've seen in this lot that we have now that the person who was talking is saying they have a series of challenges within the ANC that we might not be aware of. But generally speaking, it is given. There are issues within the ANC. I mean, even if you read the papers, whether that is true, it tells you that there is something that is happening within the ANC. If the youth have said they are calling for an early consultative conference, it actually tells you, I think even they have admitted actually that there are issues that they are faced with. So they would want a cleaner process that actually says how do we go forward in terms of maybe how do we convene a consultative conference so that we go and evaluate ourselves, we go and sit down and talk over issues. So it tells us that they are also aware. But the shortcut that they've taken now to say, no, let us go and occupy, I don't think they would allow that. They would have wanted a process where they don't even expose the problems that they have, but they go into their consultative conference, talk about the issues that they have. But to suggest that let us go and shortcut and occupy the Luthuli House is unfortunate. I don't think that one would have worked.
And now we have been seeing the ANC calling for unity throughout this year and through meetings, conferences, as well as at the rallies as well.
Yeah.
It is September now. What other solutions need to be looked at this point?
No, I think for any political organization, they have to see to it that obviously as a ruling party, I think people have said it, or there are issues that probably the public is not happy with, maybe the decisions that they are taking, issues around why Minister Nhlanhlanene was removed unceremoniously. It was not very clear. You go to KZN, Premier Senzo Mkhunu was actually also removed. We are not very clear. You leave your followers guessing. For us, we are not within the ANC structure. So you need processes that are very clear, processes that are informed, decisions that are clear, without any attachment or any criticism around issues of corruption, cronyism, and all those things. Because that is where issues are that people are saying there is a view that the ANC is corrupt, there is a view that there is cronyism, and all those things. So those are the issues that I think within the next consultative conferences that they are going to have, they should actually move beyond those things, see to it that they remove such things, and then they go on as a solid movement that is conscious, that is clear, that has integrity.
And now let's talk about the group of concerned ANC members. Yeah. Could it be that there is more of the Youth League than any other league behind this hashtag Occupy Luthuli House campaign?
I think one of the reasons actually why this hashtag Occupy Luthuli House movement is kind of failing at the moment is because there is no credible leader who is actually clear who is behind that. Because the ANC Youth League has said it's not them, and they have said what they had demanded is that there be an early consultative conference. So this one is not very clear who is actually leading it. So it is not a credible movement that is led by the Youth League, because the Youth League have said it's not them, and that's why they are there. There's another face of the Youth League that is actually defending that the Luthuli House cannot be occupied by anyone. They don't know who those people are. And I mean, we had even the Women's League have said those are opportunists. We don't know who they are. So it means the reason why it is failing is that there is no influential leadership within that movement. In my view.
Now let's move to the ANC Women's League. They are saying that the Minister Pravin Gordhan must account to structures, as we have seen the SARS unit versus the Finance Minister has been escalating for the past few weeks. Yet we have the President who hasn't accounted for more than 700 charges at this moment.
No, I think. Remember, I think the president went through the court system. It went up to the constitutional court, meaning to say, in a way, he was subjected to those. He came back to within the ANC and submitted his apology. We don't know what that means, but in their view, he certified what the demands are. Hence, they accepted his apology. So it means, I think they've said it as well that they should let Minister Pravin Gordhan's own issues also go within the same system. And I think he has been called to respond to, I think there was an issue for saying the questions were too many, 27 questions, you remember that story. And they think he should be given space and his own time, respond to whatever is being demanded by the Hawks and all those things. So I think they are letting that process roll out if ever it is. And then within their system, we don't know how far they've dealt with him from within. Probably they are saying we are waiting to see what the Hawks are going to come up with, and then we are going to respond to that.
And now, what are your expectations after the march to Luthuli House? As we know that the march is obviously with regards to the resigning of the president as well as the ANC National Executive Committee. What could we see later on?
We might see this movement, we might see it failing because my sense is that the movement, what they should have done is to actually concentrate on consolidating their claims from within, have a solid representation, mobilize groupings, mobilize people from within, so that they have a position. But I think what they did is they moved too fast to be on their own. So the chances that what we're going to see is we are going to see them falling down without anything. We don't know how strong their memorandum is. Probably if it speaks to an early conference, that is already something that is being debated, something that is being underway in terms of discussions. So we're not very sure what they will end up with. But I'm seeing that probably they are going to respond to their memorandum, or they might take it that no, we don't, because I think we heard the SG saying they don't operate from newspapers. They need, if people are not happy, there's a process. They've got the constitution, they should follow it. So we're going to see probably a fall down of saying no, they didn't take the right route to actually address their issues. So chances are that that movement is going to fall down.
Thank you so much. And we were joined by Mr. Baleni, political analyst.